Well, I'm more excited. I got up early this morning and we went over and there was a whole bunch of students camping out and trying to get tickets. So that to me is far more meaningful than being ranked. You know, just having the student body and the people on campus caring about our team. That was pretty neat.
Well, that is a compliment to your players to get people.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, I think I'm happy for all of them because they've been talking about this since the beginning of excuse me, the beginning of the season, um, and we've had some chances, to get ourselves in that position. Uh, but you know, to finally get there, and then when you look back and see that we were able to beat Memphis and Temple and Cincinnati in a week, I didn't. If you look at those three programs and what they've been able to accomplish over the years, that's a huge step for us.
Bigger challenge now with you, all right?
Oh yeah, Thursday. Thursday's going to be a huge challenge for us because the great teams, the teams that are all ranked, they win games they're supposed to win. They expect to win, but they know, that you can't have a letdown. We haven't experienced that. I guess the closest thing to that was the South Florida game. We didn't recognize the fact that that's a Big East team that has a lot of pride, and we don't realize it's not just showing up. And I think it'll be the first time that somebody else can say we're playing a ranked team when we walk in the building, which will be pretty nice.
Larry, you've done this other places. Is it the same sensation or is it different?
Well, you do it at Kansas and UCLA. I didn't establish those programs. That was the tradition at North Carolina, Kansas, UCLA. I've been lucky enough to be part of that, but there's so many people that have done great things there. This program was highly thought of, but it was a long time ago. We were hopeful coming here we could be a really terrific program that played at a high level. And, I thought it would happen. I didn't know when. We certainly got a lot of things we still have to accomplish, but just to see the excitement from the students and our fans, that's been much better than I ever expected, and maybe more meaningful. Well, I don't know. That's pretty hard because when I went to UCLA, I was setting records like crazy. First coach to lose the opening game, first coach to lose 2 in a row in Pauley, first coach to lose a home game against SC, first coach not to finish in the top 3 in the Pac-8. I was setting records like crazy. So, but this is the best. When I woke up this morning and I went down to the stadium and saw all those kids and how happy they were, I think this is as flattering as anything I've been associated with.
Larry, you had said the other night the things that are being accomplished that may be happening a little bit quicker than even you thought. When you look around, and I know there's a lot more to be done, why do you think it's being able to happen as quick as it has with this group and this group of players that you've got?
Well, I mean, I think we all felt everything was in place here. The school's great. Dallas is great. What Mark's done with the Mavericks, helps anybody that's part of basketball. There's great talent around here. We're in a great conference, so all the things were in place, but I didn't know we could assemble a group like this. The transfers we got and the recruits we have, and then the kids that we retain with Matt, they're all a big part of this. So that's given us an opportunity, I think, to play at a pretty high level now. I was with Nick and Sean today. Their example and their leadership has been a big part of this. And then, you look at the contribution of the freshmen and the transfers, it's given us a chance to be pretty good.
How do you tell these kids not to believe too much of what people like me and others are saying, how great they are?
I want them to be proud of what they've done, but I think we talked about this from the first day we got here, was we want to compete at the highest level, and it doesn't just happen. I think they understand that, but they should be proud, of what's going on. But I hope they're not satisfied. We're certainly not. I want this to be I didn't mean this disrespectfully, but, when you storm the court at home, it makes me realize you haven't had much success. And it was nice for them to enjoy that and share that with our players. But I would hope in the future that, we're excited because we beat a team we're expected to beat, and we get ready for the next one.
Can you remember the last time you were part of a game where fans stormed the court for your win?
Well, I remember on the other end. I was on the other end, being at UCLA and Kansas. I mean, a lot of people were pretty excited about some of the losses we had. But I've never been part of a...
Ever? That was your first one?
That was my first. Yeah. And I didn't know how to act because we had to sing our alma mater.
What were the students' reaction to you this morning when you passed out donuts?
I just think they were just excited to be there and be part of this. That's the best thing that's happened, is that I think they all feel like they've been a big part of this, and I think it's true. This atmosphere in that building is phenomenal. Allen Fieldhouse gets loud and enthusiastic, and Pauley was phenomenal, but I can't imagine any place being better than this. Not to my knowledge.
What about Ben Moore? You played him big minutes late, and he won AAC Rookie of the Week again. What's the biggest thing he's improved
he
on
did.
since the beginning of the year?
Well, his biggest problem is his coach doesn't know how to use him. But he just gets better every day. He gets better in practice. I was thrilled because he doesn't show much emotion, and after the game, I could see he was pretty excited, and that pumped me up a little bit. But they were pressing us, and he's a great ball handler, and he helped relieve the pressure. But he can do a lot of things, and I know he wants to get better, and we got to figure out how to help.
With your depth, obviously that can work the other way. Guys cannot buy into it. Obviously, they are buying into it. And how satisfied are you with that? The fact that they haven't let that bother them in the minutes.
Well, I would be surprised if it doesn't bother them. I'd be disappointed if they all didn't want to play. But I just spoke to Sean and Nick. Ryan didn't get to play. Cannon played great. The first half, he doesn't get in the game, but a few seconds the second half. And they were just excited as, anybody after the game. You don't find that in a lot of places. But I'm having a hard time with that. Last year was easy. You just played 5 guys. Now I go home after each game worrying about, who didn't get enough time and what I could have done different to help. I'm not enjoying that part.
You were talking about the atmosphere, obviously, of this building and how great it's been. When you move into a new place like you guys, I know it's an old place and a new place, but establishing what you guys have been able to establish with the wins, not just the 3 wins against top 25 teams, but all 7 wins. What does that do to establish, your place in this building, and this team in this building?
Well, I mean, I thought even when we had a small crowd last year, it was great. You know, it was loud. They were enthusiastic. But the best part of this, to me, it brings SMU together. You know, a lot of old players getting calls from them, how proud they are, and saw this response of the students. That's great. But you could have a great crowd. If you don't have a good team, it ain't gonna matter. You know, and if we weren't good, we'd have a pretty building. You know, but I think the biggest thing is that they appreciate what the players are doing, and that's why they're there. That's why they're enthusiastic, and we want this to be a great home court environment. You know, everywhere I've been, you know, I've been lucky enough to be in places where the crowd actually has mattered and made us play better than we know how. And in a lot of cases, you know, pick us up. Like, I'll give you an example. We had 4 straight turnovers yesterday against their press, and I think the crowd got us back, kept us in the game. And I know it affects teams, especially young kids coming in here with an environment like this. You can say you can handle pressure and stuff like that, but I heard, you know, mixed comments that he thought they lost their poise a little bit. And I think a lot of that happened because of the enthusiasm of our crowd.
What about the conference? Now there's 5 teams in the top 25. Is that something you expected before the season to be this deep?
Well, that helps us, you know. You know, it helps your strength of schedule. It helps your resume if you're lucky enough to get in the tournament. And I'm proud. I think we're all proud of that. You know, but you expect Cincinnati, Connecticut, Memphis, and Louisville. And you would almost expect Temple, because Fran's done it, you know, every year except for this. But to have us in there included with those programs, that's phenomenal.
Larry, considering the way your last few years in the NBA went, it didn't go as well as
Oh, last half a year. We made the playoffs for the first time the year before.
But that one, you obviously had a good bump there, and then you left. But then the next thing didn't go right. Did you need this for you to win again and to be appreciated?
I didn't think the next one didn't go right. Michael didn't think it went right. You get rid of Chandler and Felton and have all the injuries we had. Even Michael couldn't have gotten that team to where he wanted it to. But I needed to be around kids and to be around coaches and to be in the gym personally, because you look at my background, who's coached me and who I played for, who I coached with. I just wanted to share what they taught me before it'd be too late. And I would have been happy being a high school coach or, you know, working in management in the NBA. But I never imagined it could be like this, you know, for me at 73. I mean, this is like going back to when I was freshman coach at North Carolina. I feel exactly the same way until I look in the mirror. But I mean, I still have the same passion. I love coming to practice, love being around our coaches, and I don't think anybody at my age deserves this. And I love it, and I feel real fortunate. But I don't know about the need. I needed to be around basketball, I think. And I think the best part is I'm getting to, you know, tell people about things that I was taught.